Mine is good too. Welcome everyone to today's Chapter AB 617 Urban Greening and Vegetative Barriers informational meeting. Welcome. I'd like to go ahead and kick it off to David Lopez from the Air District.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today's informational meeting here is to talk about our two open RFPs. One is urban greening and the other one is vegetative barriers. This is an opportunity for interested applicants to get a brief presentation about the programs and to ask any questions they may have. And we'll be posting this video on our website for people who could not make it today. And feel free to contact us directly if you have any questions afterwards. We do have at the end of our presentation, you'll see my contact information and the emails necessary for submitting of an application. And with that, let me share this presentation with Sita, who will be presenting on behalf of the district.
Great, thank you so much, David. As David mentioned, my name is C. Tao, and I'm an air quality specialist here in the grants program. And I will be presenting this informational meeting on Chapter's Urban Greening and Vegetative Barriers RFP. So just to provide you some background, AB 617 requires that CARB and the Air District develop and implement plans and measures to reduce air pollution measures in disadvantaged communities. The programs developed are to reduce greenhouse emissions, strengthen the economy, improve public health, and the environment focused in disadvantaged communities. With that said, programs such as urban greening and vegetative barriers will help do so and provide some key benefits such as shade to sidewalks and streets can encourage active transportation. Shade to buildings can reduce energy consumptions, reduce water usage through water-efficient irrigation methods for native and or drought-resistant vegetation, and also reduce pollution with reduce noise pollution with trees near freeways. Moving along to some general information, the Urban Greening and Vegetative Barriers Emissions Reduction Program is that a community is a community identified project, and the project was developed by guided shared experience and knowledge of local community members through the input and involvement of AB 617 community steering committees. The goal of this RFP is to select a local eligible entity to implement urban greening and or vegetative barriers projects in the chapter AB 617 through an RFP process. In addition to working with the community to reduce exposure to emissions and provide several key co-benefits. Funding for the urban greening program is up to $50,000 and up to $1 million for the vegetative barriers program. Interested applicants must be in compliance interested applicants must be in compliance with applicable state and or federal conflicts of interest and disclose any additional funds they're receiving in contribution towards the project. Additional funding does not preclude participation, and funds may be leveraged to expand projects. However, matching funds can be used, but is not required. The selected applicant or entity will be awarded a contract for a minimum of 10 years. Planting of these trees or vegetative barriers must be completed within the first 3 years. The remaining portion of the project is to maintain the project, comply with requirements, and make projects available for inspections as required. Slide 10 and 11 shows a table that lists the criteria of applicants that are eligible to apply. The table includes applicants that are joint powers joint powers authority, special district, nonprofit, tribal government, or public agency with experience implementing urban greening and vegetative barrier projects with the Shafter AB 617 community, or those that can work with other projects that have the experience. Other criteria on this table can be found in more detail on page 5 of the RFP, which includes making sure that the interested applicant meets the program requirements. We can move on to slide 12, please. Thank you. Some key items that make projects eligible is that proposed project must be located within the Shafter AB 617 community. There are a few required species selections, which include plants that are non-invasive, non-poisonous, along with a few items listed down below. A project is eligible for reimbursement up to 100% of eligible costs. The table shows related items such as supplies and materials, maintenance, labor construction, and up to 25% of non-construction costs, which includes designs, permitting, outreach, and administration. For ineligible costs, overhead includes such as rent, utility, office, equipment, and supplies. The next two slides shows images of potential locations that were identified as a priority for air pollutants mitigation by the Shafters steering committee. As you can see, the first slide shows potential sites for urban greening, which include the Richland School District, the Veterans Park. The last two images shows that vegetative barriers can be planted, urban greening can be planted to protect residents from car exhaust noise and pesticides drift. So specifically Highway 43 and Beach Avenue to State Street, Central 43 north of town, and then also Shafter to Highway 99 to the Lador Highway. So this next slide shows an area map of Shafter and all the suggested vegetative barrier sites. There are more than about 10 locations that were suggested from the steering community, and the full listing of these sites can be found on page 8 of the RFP. For the project evaluation process, the district and Shafter steering committee will evaluate the score the submitted proposal. They can go back to the entity and ask and interview them for clarification of what was submitted. They can meet to present. So the district and the steering committee will meet to present and rank the proposals, notify the applicant once selection is made, and then issue a contract. For slides 17 and 18, the next two slides shows a table of the scoring criteria which the proposal are based on, and they include cost effectiveness, quantitative benefits, co-benefits, species selections, and project readiness. For slides 19 and 20, as discussed in the scoring criteria, there is a cost effectiveness analysis which requires an emissions reductions calculation. By doing so, these two slides explains how to use established tools to help estimate this, and the district has provided a user guide in Exhibit B of the RFP to provide help in the calculation as well. We can move on. Yeah, thank you. As indicated on page 9 of the RFP, the required documents for the proposal must include the following: the application, certification form, Form W-9, results from the CNRA draft urban greening benefits calculator tool, quotes, an aerial map, and photographs. This slide is a flowchart of the program process when the application is submitted, reviewed, the contract is offered, and then to the final stages of implementation, reimbursement, and project maintenance. And moving along, this is a schedule of the next couple events that we have listed. So obviously the proposal, the RFP was launched on January 29th. The deadline will be March 9th. And then from that point on, the district has approximately 90 days to review the proposal and make a final selection. This slide is to show you the contact person of who you can contact and submit your RFP to. As you can see, David Lopez is the contact person. Phone number and email is listed on this slide as well. And then when making the actual submission, please utilize the subject shafter urban greening and vegetative barrier application. And with that, this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, C. For interested parties, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, or you may reach out to via my email. We will be posting this video onto our website shortly, and we appreciate everybody's time, and we look forward to seeing your applications. Thank you very much. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you.